Hello Year 3 and welcome to the maths lesson for Thursday the 21st of January. Today we're going to be learning how to subtract fractions, but before we do that we're going to have a look at adding hundreds to numbers with up to 3 digits. Have a look and see if you can do these quickfire questions. Choose your own challenge. I don't think they'll take you very long today. Remember, if you're adding hundreds, which of our digits is going to change? Is it going to be the tens, the ones, or the hundreds? I'll leave you to think about that while you're doing the questions. Pause the video and off you go. Great. There, that wasn't too bad, was it? Let's have a look now at the answers. So check your answers to see how you got on. Super. Right, now we're going to be looking at subtracting fractions that have the same denominator. So today, to be successful, we're going to need to know which is the denominator and the numerator in a fraction. And we're also going to use bar models to help to show our calculations and to subtract. First of all, we're going to start off with a short clip which will explain about subtracting fractions.
Fraction subtraction. First, we learned to add fractions, so now we learn to subtract them. And if you can add fractions, you'll have no problem with subtraction. This represents 5/6. I have to subtract 4/6. If I take 4/6 away from 5/6, here's what's left. 1 part out of 6. 1/6. And without the diagrams, you can see the denominators in our problem are the same. We keep the same denominator in our answer, and we only use subtraction for the numerators. This is just like when we add fractions with the same denominator. So with this one, what answer do you get? The denominator stays. We do our subtraction with the numerators. 5 minus 2 is 3. 3/8. Okay with that? What about this one? The denominator stays, and with the numerator, 8 minus 2 is 6. 6/9.
Okay, so as they said in the clip, if you can add fractions, then subtraction is very similar. So the key fact to remember is that when we're subtracting fractions that have the same denominator, we just need to subtract the numerators and the denominator stays the same. Now I said we'll need to be able to draw some bar models to help us with this. So I'm going to show you how I do a subtraction calculation on a bar model. So I've got my calculation, 6/10 take away 3/10. So I'm going to start by shading in 6/10. There we are, nice and quick. Now, I need to take away 3/10. But how can I show that when I've already shaded them in? Well, what I'm going to do is cross them out. So that's 1/10 crossed out, 2/10 crossed out, 3/10 crossed out. So what am I left with? I started with 6/10. I've crossed 3 of those out. My denominator is going to be 10. And my numerator is 1, 2, 3. 6 minus 3 answer is 3/10. But we could also do that on a number line. If I start at 6/10 and count back 3/10, 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, then I have reached my answer of 3/10. Now today, you've just got 2 tasks to do. The first one is using bar models, and you can see here we've got the green and blue task on this side, the yellow task over here. Giving you some bar models to help with the calculation. And then task 2 is using the fractions on a number line to help you with the subtraction. And then my blue extension task, when you've completed the first green core task, is adding in some missing numerators to make the calculations correct. Well, that's all I'm going to say today for your maths, so you can now get on, and don't forget to send in your work by 3:30 if possible, and then the lesson for Friday will be available on YouTube from 5 o'clock this afternoon. See you tomorrow.